Welcome, everybody. I appreciate you joining us this morning for our tool and equipment webinar. This is an exciting first venture into our new merger with our new partners from the network. From a Pronto perspective, we've never offered a tool and equipment program before, but now we have a tool and equipment program for you to view. And we have the expert from the network, Mr. Mark Lowry, joining us today. Mark is going to walk us through the program, how it works for their members, and how it will work for our members. Certainly, because this is a webinar, you're all muted right now, but you do have an ability to ask questions. There's a questions tab over there, and you can type your questions in, and we'll get those questions to Mark and get them answered for you. Again, we appreciate you joining us, and I will turn it over to Mark Lowry, who will give the presentation. And also on the call from the network is David Livingston, who manages the network products warehouse, which houses all of the tool and equipment inventory that they stock, as well as the customer service staff and everything to help you and your sales team as we move forward. So with that, Mr. Lowry, it's all yours.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Again, name's Mark Lowry. I'm the Director of Marketing that also encompasses the training department and tools and equipment. And today we're going to high-level overview the tool and equipment program, how it works, how the catalogs work, and then most importantly, how you sign up. So by the end of this, you should be able to have a really good idea. And if you're interested, we're more than happy to talk with you. So with that, let's jump into the program overview for tools and equipment. So with our tool and equipment program, we have over 50 suppliers that participate within the program today. That covers roughly 34 different repair categories. When I say repair categories, you look at battery service, diagnostic, automotive lift. Those are type of categories that we're going to cover. So we have 34 of them, pretty all-encompassing program as it stands today. We manage all this at headquarters with the suppliers directly. I know a big question that comes into play is gross margin. And with tools and equipment, you have to go in understanding that your gross margin is going to be lower, but your gross profit is going to be higher based off of the costs. So as you can see here, I outlined some price categories that you can see. You're going to run a 21% average gross margin on items that are above $1,000, but you're also going to be bringing in roughly $1,000 in gross profit. And as that ticket item lowers in price, you can see your gross margin will go up, but your gross profit dollars itself will go down. We work very hard with the suppliers to try to get special pricing set up just for our members. And then the items that go into the catalog itself, we try to run promotional pricing that helps you get out there at a better cost and better retail to your customers. We do offer quarterly catalogs. We also offer monthly hot deals flyers. And we'll get into that a little bit later in the slide deck here. I will ask that y'all take a look at the Q1 tool and equipment flyer. You can find that at networktoolcat.com. You can go there, flip through the pages. We got a lot to offer in there. So let's take a look at the line card. I know I mentioned 50 plus suppliers, 34 tool categories. As you can see here are some of our most popular brands. And then down the right side of the line card, we have all the different categories. We are rebranding this line card for the Pronto network to include Pronto as well, so that y'all are able to get a digital version of this and be able to print it out and start handing it out to your customers. So that's our line card. Let's take a quick look at how the catalog works and how we operate it. again, it's a quarterly publication. It's 64 pages long, and that's important. I wanted to make sure that's in there. 2020 and before, this was a 40-page catalog. Starting 2021, it's jumped all the way up to 64 pages. When taking over the program, taking a deep dive into looking at some of the gaps that we have in our offering, we are able to bring in a lot of new suppliers, a lot of additional tools and equipment that we know your customers are looking for. And we continue to look to have this catalog growing. As of last week and this week, we have 3 new suppliers that are going to hop on board, covering additional diagnostics. We got some spray cans, and then we have generators and pressure washers for you guys. So we're gonna look to add that in Q2, hopefully. If not, guaranteed we'll have it in Q3. We do have a pricing file that we put out for everybody for the tool and equipment catalog itself. And we'll look at that on the next slide here and kind of go over some of that. But that will have all your costs, your retails, your financing, if financing's available for that item. The costs for these catalogs are $2 each. However, headquarters will cover 50% of your costs, which will drop your costs to $1. If you order these catalogs, the Q2 catalog, by February 15th, we're going to be able to offer you 50 free catalogs at no charge to you on top of whatever order you place. Again, there's not a minimum order requirement that we have in place. We send what you order. We do not carry a lot of additional inventory on these catalogs, so make sure you order a little more than you think you need, just in case you start to run out. We do keep some inventory at Network Products, but again, it's better to go ahead and have it on the front end. So hot deals flyers, this is something new to the tool and equipment program. I took over the program in April of 2020 with my background in marketing. I thought it was very necessary to work with the suppliers to be able to put on supplier sponsored promotions. And as you see here, those 2 bottom images are examples of them. And what I typically do is I'll go out, I'll work with the supplier to actually fund the discount. That way it helps you not lose or erode any of your gross margin. And typically they're all done digitally. We send them out for you to print and to be able to hand out to your customers. And again, we work monthly on this. It could be a lift one month. It could be TPMS tools, drill bits. It's an active program that we have the suppliers just offering up deals for us. So let's jump into the price file and how that works. Yes, this is an eye chart for sure, but a couple of things I wanted to point out here. This first row, the stock code, that means it is drop ship or that it is freight prepaid. We have different codes and we'll be able to give you that chart of codes, but it will either tell you it's stocked in Network Products, it's drop ship, which is freight prepaid, or if it's shipped with freight added. We include the index, page number, brand, part number, and description. But most importantly, when you look here, you got the WD costs. We include a jobber cost, your regular list price, and then what the catalog retails at. And then we do the math for you to help you out with the gross profit, gross margin numbers here. And then lastly, you have your monthly lease program. This pricing file will be posted out to everybody. I will warn everyone that Q1 prices are not going to match Q2. Y'all may have already, if you've been dealing with tool and equipment suppliers or even hard part suppliers, we're getting hit with some Q2 price increases. So I'm working with those suppliers to try to keep them as low as possible. But again, if you do download the Q1 price file, you open up Q2 and try to compare the difference, you may see some drastic changes. We're hearing price increases anywhere from 2% to 25% based on that specific unit. So with that, we have two different programs to help pass this program through to you guys. First off is drop ship program. This program runs through me and the team that I work with. You do have to fill out a credit application. You need your tax certificate prior to the first order. All this documentation will be found on the group net. All the lines that you see are open for purchase. And then again, we publish if it's freight prepaid or not. That way you know what you're getting to prior to order. Your terms are going to be net 30 days. Billing will come directly from Network HQ. And then if you have any questions regarding the drop ship program or the tool and equipment program, here's my contact information. Feel free to email me. I'd be more than happy to hop on a call. So processing orders, we have a team at Network HQ. All you have to do is send an email, fax a PO, or call it in. As you can see here at the very bottom, I'm providing you guys with the email address, the phone number, or the fax number. Any way you'd like to order it, we have that team there available to take your orders and to be able to answer any questions you may have. They also help facilitate any special pricing that you're trying to get into. A lot of times with municipalities, you will get in a quote competition there, and our team will go out to the supplier and try to grab some additional discounts to help you win that. So that's the overview of the drop ship program. Next up is David Livingston. He is going to present the Network Products Warehouse. He is the manager out there that runs that warehouse. Go ahead, David.
Good morning. Thank you, Mark. As Mark said, we also carry some of the product that's in the tool and equipment catalog that is available at Network Products. If you look at the overall catalog, it'll be noted in there with an MPW on each item that's available directly from MPW. There is a little bit of different program there. You can send your orders to the team Mark talked about at headquarters. We work closely with those guys, and the application you fill out will include Network Products in that, so we can set you an account up here. The freight is a little different. So if we get stuff out of the warehouse, the freight is $12.50 prepaid. You can order anything out of the warehouse under that prepayment, but it'll just be charged freight on top of that. The terms are 2% 10th net 30th, and billing comes directly from MPW. That's pretty much cut and dry on that. The pricing is in the sheet that Mark showed us earlier for the products out of the network. If you have any questions about ordering product out of Network Products, you can contact me. Mark has provided my email address there. That's it as far as MPW. We can send that back to Mark.
Well, and just real quickly, Mark, before you jump back into things, I'll share, this one slide, and Jim Guy, I'm not sure if you're out there or not, but there is a new program sheet that has been built on the group net, so you can go out to the program sheet and find all the information that the guys have been talking about, as well as links to the online catalog that they have, and all of the details that Mark and David have just described for you here on the sheet, as far as the pricing, the prepaid freights, and all that. Certainly, as we talked and Mark mentioned earlier, there's a special offer for members wanting to get started. If you'll get us an order and let us know that you plan on participating in this program, you can get up to 50 free tool and equipment flyers on this first launch. Of course, please remember these flyers are for our Q2 program. So what we're talking about today is a program that starts on April the 1st. So even if you placed an order today for flyers, we're going to ship you those flyers in March, which will be for the Q2 program. The Q1 program, which has been running since the beginning of January, was launched back in December. And so everything that we're talking about here for our Pronto membership is effective, if you will, with an April 1st start date. I believe, Mark, we've got your contact information here one more time. Again, Mark can answer all the very specific questions if you have about things. And certainly, if you are ready to get started and you want to contact Pronto headquarters to let us know that you're ready to get started, you can contact Jim Guy or Mike Peace here, and they can help you get the forms filled out and everything to get you enrolled to start in the program. One thing, and I'm kind of winging it here, I thought we might want to jump to the website just a second, Mark, and see if I can show these guys the website. It might be interesting to show them. It might be interesting to show them the notations on the catalog of where they can find products in Network Products Warehouse versus the stuff that would be drop shipped.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know what I'm getting ready to do, but I'll give it a shot. So now if I can figure out how to share the right screen.
All right.
Okay. So you should be seeing, hopefully everybody's seeing the catalog.
Yeah, and Robert, if you'll go ahead and open up a couple call outs here before we move too far. We do have the leasing always on the inside cover. Financing is very, very important in tools and equipment. Those guys there will help you finance anything that's over $1,000 for up to 60 months. And then we also keep a new items page to try to gain interest on some of the newer products that we're offering through our program. So let's take a look. If you'll move a little bit further in, you'll have to go in a few pages here, Robert, to get to an MPW indication where I can show the difference. Some of these, Corgis new, Rangers new, Continentals new. So let's take a look here at tire service on the right side of the page. You can see this performance tool item. It's an inflator. It's notated with an NPW logo, and that logo indicates that that item is stocked out at Network Products Warehouse. Any item that you do not see with that NPW logo, those are drop ship items that are coming through the drop ship program. If you look to the left of the page, all of those items are within the drop ship program. You got two on the right side here. Flip through, we have some new brands like Brannick that we're showing here, Viking. We've added a lot of new service jacks, lifts and hydraulics, engine stands, tear down tables. It was very important to make sure we had a full offering of that, and that was part of that increase of 24 additional pages. We do offer some heavy duty, OTC being a new vendor of ours, Norco. Also, we introduced Ranger so that we could have some competitive pricing. If you've ever done business with Ranger, it's a little bit different than you're going to do with a AMCO.
And I think it's important to note that, you know, certainly, obviously you guys have done a lot of homework here, Mark. You've been doing this for quite a while, but certainly from a Pronto standpoint, when we went out, you know, Pronto in the past has had some different programs with ISN and Medco and different people like that, and we've done a lot of comparison on this, and I think you're going to find the opportunities here, and the pricing is very, very sharp in this catalog, and certainly, at least, you know, at a very high level, when we did some analysis, the opportunities for you to make some gross profit are pretty nice as well. So we're very, very excited about this catalog, and we're very, very excited about this new program. One thing I want to make sure that I understand, or make sure that we clarify for everybody, right? So theoretically, to enroll in this program and to get started in this program, there's really no investment in inventory that has to be done. Is that correct, Mark? There's stuff that you might find it valuable to stock into your warehouse and have available so that you can deliver it, immediately if a guy needs an impact wrench or a particular tool set or whatever. But it's not absolutely necessary that you stock this inventory to take advantage of these catalogs and offer this to your customers, since a great number of these items are drop ship. Is that a fair statement?
That's a very fair statement. Your only investment's going to be in the catalog. If you decide to offer a print catalog, I do recommend it. You're going to get a little more pull through with that. One thing I wanted to make sure is clear, Robert, if you'll go one page forward for me, past Mala here. Back to the Robinair page. I wanted to use Robinair as an example. Robinair is one of those items that brand names that everybody wants, and so it's always a pricing contest. And so what you see here, and with all these other items, that is a map price or a suggested retail price that we put out there. Now, always know, and just from my experience of working in tool and equipment in some prior roles, is you always have enough room to start working your way down to be more price competitive if you get into a pricing competition. I would suspect when you're looking at Robinair, they're probably shopping the AutoZones, the O'Reillys, the Napas. They're going to be price shopping that. So we try to build in enough space to give you enough leverage to be able to go in and compete competitively against those bid opportunities. Robert, I don't know if there's anything else major to call out other than it'd be great if you guys could go out, hop onto the website, flip through, look at some of the categories, look at some of the product offerings. If you have questions, feel free to contact me. You'll have my contact information from the presentation itself, and I'd be more than happy to go through some more additional details that we might not have covered through this webinar.
Yep. Well, the only other thing that I'll mention is anyone that has a Nextpart website, this catalog is clickable, and if you have a Nextpart website, and if your customer is logged into that Nextpart website, it'll take them into Nextpart to view more information on these items. So if you're participating in a in a Nextpart website, then you have an ability to also add some additional information and availability online for your customers. So with that,
hey Robert, I've got one thing I want to input from Mark there that these guys might not realize, is that we're not limited to what's in this catalog only for our tools and equipment program. We have most of these guys, we have full range of what's available from the manufacturer. Just wanted to point that out. We're not limited to what's on the catalog.
Right. Okay, so with that, we'll pause for just a minute. David Wolford, if you're out there, I think I see some questions that are out there. Do you want to share some of those questions with our folks here, and we can see if we can't get them answered?
Yeah, really. Good morning, everybody. Number one, Mark, David, great job on the presentation. They've got a tried and true program out there. This is not a new program for the network. This is something that they've been dealing with and working on for quite a while. So I really just wanted to throw out there that, again, being on the other side of the fence, not having a program, it was difficult in the past sometimes to get into the equipment program when you really aren't in it. So Mark and David, you know, their team is ready to go. They're the experts. All you do is you supply them the lead, and they will absolutely make it happen. One other note that was out there is historically in the past, if you didn't have an equipment program, how many times have you walked into a shop trying to get their business and they have to buy from CarQuest or have to buy from Napa because Napa locked them in because of an equipment purchase. So, hey, here's an equipment purchase. They do a partial earn back, whatever the case may be. And so that makes it very difficult for us to get their parts purchases because our competition has an equipment division. Well, now you've got an equipment division yourself. So great job, guys. David, Mark, man, I really appreciate it. This is a great opportunity.
So one of the things that you might want to talk about a little bit, guys, is your customer service and your field support. So for like a lot of these items require some installation. Maybe they require some training on how to use those items. Can you kind of tell us how that's coordinated in your program?
Yeah, I can definitely go through that, Robert. If you want to make your way back towards the front of the catalog, I can show some examples and then kind of how the program works. So internally, we have, like I explained, a team there. That's good. If you'd go to tire service or the lifts, mainly tire service, Robert, on the tire balancers. But yeah, so again, we have a team there at the headquarters that's able to assist with questions, competitive bids, be able to offer up pricing like David mentioned. There is a great point because we have these direct relationships. And let's take Coates here as someone. We are not limited to that. So our support team's able to reach out to contact with Coates, be able to go find the actual product that your customer's requesting. Now, some of these items here, and it's real small, but you'll be able to see it. It's notated down towards the bottom of the image, but it talks about installation training at no cost. And what that is once the sale goes through, we're able to help set up the communication between the Coates rep and the customer. And once that machine, take this tire changer for instance, shows up, Coates rep will come out, make sure it's properly placed, make sure that the electrician is proper to be able to set up, and then they will put on a clinic for the technicians in the shop to make sure they understand how to fully operate that piece of equipment. And that, when you look right next to the one that Robert was highlighting, this 80XC rim clip unit, you have a ton of new technology on this tire changer. So that's why this education, this training is so important, is because you may have a shop going from a baseline tire changer, which is bare knuckles, cut to nothing, to a very sophisticated piece of equipment that's going to have a bunch of assist arms and bead brakes and different things that were not offered. So the Coates rep will come out, be able to offer that assistance, train the shops. So where that opportunity is, you will see it notated right below the image in many of these. And a lot of it's built around the brand. So if you look, you got Ranger, which is going to be quite a bit different from your Coates, but you're going to see that in the pricing too, based off of the customer service that's built into the program. So we don't offer, or we don't have training or installation for lifts. So the shop needs to set that up with a local installer to be able to get it drilled into the ground, hook up the air lines, hook up the power. There's a lot that goes in the lifts that would make, if you get involved, it makes you a subcontractor. So there is some risk being the middleman in that role. So always recommend asking that shop to go out to a local installer to be able to do that. Now, you may say, well, I don't know who the local installer is. How can I be helpful? If you buy one of these machines, or lifts, I mean, say take a Ford lift, you don't know the installer, local installer, all you have to do is shoot our customer service an email. We can get you that list that would service, because most of these suppliers have preferred installers because they know it's going to be done properly, which limits stuff from being broke or bad warranty claims. So when it comes to that, that's our field support. That's our internal support. I will say, if your team needs training on anything, all these suppliers would be ecstatic to send somebody out to the location that you want to put on the training for your sales reps, and they would spend as long as you need to train them on how to sell these type of items as well.
And I think it would be fair to say, again, one of the real benefits of this program is that customer service department, right? There's guys in Memphis that are experts at all of this kind of stuff. And so if you have a question about something and you don't understand, maybe there's not a notation on the equipment as to whether it has training or what up included, feel free to call the customer service department. They're there to help you, and so they'll walk you through the process and help you in any way possible. So you know, use those guys certainly as you get into this program and you're out there talking about it. That's one of the huge benefits and values of this program, is that we can bring you some expertise and guys that are doing this and dealing with it day in and day out. Another question that was asked is certainly, this program is available to any customer that you have. It doesn't have to be a Pronto Smart Choice banner shop. It doesn't have to be a national account. If you have a customer that's interested in this product, then you certainly have an ability to sell it to them. If they're, you know, credit worthy and you want to get involved in the deal with them, it is a program that you can offer to any of your customers, including, and you've heard Mark mention, municipalities, fleets, and different people like that. So certainly this program is available to whoever you choose to make it available to. So I'm looking, and it was mentioned before, right? So the pricing shown in the catalog is a suggested selling price. You know, I guess I'm not exactly sure. You know, certainly there are opportunities for items to be sold, you know, below these prices. Again, this is, at that point in time, that becomes your option. You know, as the distributor, you can choose to discount this price and discount your profit margin if you need to. And I believe, as Mark said earlier, in some cases there may be an opportunity for us to go back to a manufacturer to try to find a little bit better deal if there's special circumstances around that. But again, I will tell you, based on the analysis that we've done, these are some very, very competitive prices. I was very surprised at how competitive the pricing was compared to programs that we had looked at in the past. Certainly, I think you'll be very pleased with the opportunity that this will provide you as you enter this arena.
Robert, I wanted to add one additional thing. I think you'll also find the cost extremely competitive, if not a lot better than what you would find going through a distributor like a Medco or an ISN. So you'll be able to see some benefit from that to help you in that gross margin game.
Yes. So the cost files, the pricing files are going to be posted out on GroupNet. So you'll go to the tool and equipment program on GroupNet. It's going to be treated just like any other vendor. One thing that is a little bit different is we take all of the vendors that are participating in the tool and equipment program and roll them into one. So there's not an individual price sheet for rotary versus Coates versus Mala versus whatever else. It's all one price file for the tool and equipment program. It'll be posted out on ProntoNet. Again, the file that is posted out there today is the pricing that is currently in effect. As Mark mentioned, there's a new price file that will come with the second quarter program, and it's being finalized right now and should be posted out. We'll post it as soon as it is done. That pricing will be effective April 1st, which will be the next version of the tool and equipment catalog, which is published for your use. So there was a question. There was a question about, can we start before April 1st? So we have a limited availability to help you with that. Certainly, the tool and equipment catalogs have all been printed, so we're not going to be able to ship you, and we're not going to go reprint a bunch of catalogs for Q1. However, if someone wanted to use the website and you've got a lead and you wanted to sell a piece of equipment, absolutely, we can help you do that prior to the April 1st date. We just chose April 1st because obviously it's going to require you to place a catalog order, 45 to 60 days prior to the start of the date. And so April 1st was chosen kind of as our rollout date, because that way we can print and produce catalogs for you and get them to you. However, if you had somebody that wanted to buy a tire changer tomorrow, or a Freon machine, whatever it was, we can certainly work with you to make that happen. And again, the equipment itself, there's a couple questions about that. So if you look at the program, I'm going to try to see if I can find one more time. I'll go back here. So tool and equipment comes from a couple of different places. Some of it is shipped direct from the manufacturer, okay? And those are items where you don't necessarily see any notation. And then some items where you see this little NPW logo, I hope you can see me kind of circling that. Those are items that are available in our warehouse in Memphis. So if you decided you wanted to get some of this TPMS valves, those are available in Memphis and would be shipped to you from Memphis. If you wanted this Autel diagnostic unit, it's going to be shipped directly from the factory. So there's multiple options here. Like I said, obviously we won't be stocking the big pieces of equipment and things like that. Certainly we get those drop shipped from the manufacturer, but the smaller items, some of the more commodity type items, you're going to find it again as you flip through the catalog and you get back a little bit farther. You'll start to see a lot more of those NPW notations, and those are items that are actually in stock in the warehouse in Memphis and can be ordered. That was the notation on the $1,250 prepaid freight, or I guess ship it and add freight if it's below that amount.
Robert, one notation there, they can mix any of those products coming out of Network Products to make freight. They're not limited to a single manufacturer to make freight for that particular brand.
Correct. Thank you for that, David.
Yeah, this is Jim Guy. That's what I was going to mention too, that you can have a collective, just like our co-man out of the group net. If any of you guys have any interest in the program and you need help walking through the program sheet, just give us a call. And I think anybody on the call here would be able to walk you through and field any questions or concerns you might have. So.
Tom, are you out there? Someone, so do you want to talk about the next part integration for just a second? So there was,
Yeah, I think I want to make it real easy to expand on that. If you would, click a part number in the catalog. So this is going to send it to a next part login. We're going to follow up with a web shop demonstration on another call. But in what we've done is we've set it up so that when a customer of yours has Nextpart, whether AC Delco connection or Nextpart or our web shop, when they log in, that would have sent them to the stock check screen. So the catalog, it can be linked to your Nextpart website. We host it, and it's just a punch out. The customer has a drop down fixed tool and equipment catalog. They're browsing. If you go back to your open view of the catalog, and no, it has a search bar. We kind of didn't talk about this website much, but they can search and type in battery charger or welding helmet and so forth, and it gives them a quick jump. So I will tell you, this website gets a lot of traffic. Mark ran the numbers recently, but a lot of customers like the flyer in their hand, but there's also an awful lot of customers that just like to go out and shop on a website. So the short, tomorrow solution is you could offer that address at toolcat.com to your customers to go shopping and just let them know you're able to sell that merchandise. But a follow-up to this is we enable it on your Nextpart site, and then you'd have to follow through with the spreadsheet Mark publishes and make sure you load those part numbers into your DMS, set your pricing up in your DMS. When you do that, when the customer hits the link and goes to your stock check screen, they're going to see the price that was in the quarterly publication. It should be consistent, and then click to order. And a lot of this merchandise that's dropship, you're going to have to go through customer service. The way our members handle that, if customer tries to order a lift, when they have to tell their people at the counter, you need to make a follow-up phone call with that customer to conclude the sale to order that lift. But a lot of this merchandise you would just put in stock, and you would just ship it out of your store to the customer. So one other piece is, this is the quarterly promotions piece, but a lot of this merchandise is in our network shop supplies catalog. We'll show you on a web shop demo. And so the full, everything that's available in any of these brands that stock at the warehouse and a lot of dropship merchandise is also in the non-app catalog at an everyday price, if you will. So we'll follow up on that, but I just wanted to share that's how, when Robert's talking about the next part integration, that's how that works. It's just a punch out to a catalog, click the part number, drops it in the stock check screen, and the customer can order.
Perfect. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate that.
Sure. Yep.
So one more time, there's one more question about, so basically, once you're ready to get started in this program, if you'll reach out to, probably the easiest thing to do is just to reach out here to Pronto headquarters and speak to either Jim Guy, Mike P, David, myself, anybody here can help you, but and we'll help you get your account set up, right, so that they have a bill to and a ship to address from Memphis, so that they can to get the information sent to you. It's a pretty easy process. There's a credit application, basic form that's kind of already been posted again out there on ProntoNet on the program. We have most of this information on you because you're a Pronto member today, so it's not like we should be able to make this a pretty seamless process when we get started. But really, the most important thing is we want you to just kind of give us a heads up that you're interested in participating, because the last thing that we want to do is have you, all of a sudden decide you need to try to sell a lift, or you're trying to sell a piece of equipment and we don't have an account established for you yet, and we don't want there to be any delays or anything like that would cause issues. So all we're asking is that if you believe you're interested in something like this, we could just go ahead and get you set up so that when you're ready to place your first order, it'll all flow smoothly and there won't be any delays as we get going. And with that, I don't see any additional questions. Give you one last chance. If anybody has anything that they need to ask, want to ask, do so now. If not, certainly, as we've said, you're more than welcome to contact Mark and David in Memphis to help you out with that, or any of the team here in Grapevine at Pronto headquarters, that we'll get you the information that you need to get started. Again, this is the first of what we hope will be many new programs that are going to be coming out of our merger with the network. We're very, very excited about it. We appreciate. Thank you, Mark and David, for taking some time with our membership this morning to go through all this. And thank you to all the members for joining us today. Like I said, we're excited about this program and hope you find some value in it. So with that, thanks to everyone, and you guys have a great day.